What's up, everybody? It's your boy D here, back at it again with another video. So I just got back from the Spider-Man No Way Home premiere, and I felt like I just need to come on camera and talk about it because, man, was this movie epic. But before we get started into this review, I just want to let you guys know I'm rocking this suit. I went to the premiere today, I just got back from the premiere, like I said, and I got there a little bit late, so I didn't have time to mingle, show off the suit and whatnot. So just leave a comment below, let your boy know that I'm rocking this suit, rocking the blue suit. Because it's getting a little bit hot, so I'm taking this off to do the review. But like, leave a comment. Let your boy know I'm rocking this because I didn't get no praise at the thing. So just drop them in the comments below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this review. God damn, that movie was epic from start to finish, man. And I usually do not like to do like a full review like right after I see a movie, but I've seen the first 40 minutes. This is my second time seeing the first 40 minutes, but like as a full complete film, this is the first time I've done it. But Sony this time, they released the social embargo at the same time as the movie review embargo, because usually like when you go to the events or a screening or something like that, they usually do like a social media embargo where you can just give your thoughts on social media, and then at a later time you can do the review. But they just said all of it released at the same time, so this is kind of like my first reaction / review. And I don't even know how long this will be, because I feel like a lot of this will revolve around spoilers, which I will keep away from. I'll stay away because I want you guys to go into this as spoiler free as I did. Personally, for me, across all of the movies that we've gotten, like, I feel like this one really was a culmination of the past 20 years. And as somebody like me, you know, I'm a little bit on the younger side, so like I've kind of grown up with the Spider-Man films from the first installment back in 2002. So to be here, to be at the forefront of this like 20 years later, to be going to the premiere is just something I'll never forget. And to be able to see it on the big screen with a group of people like we used to go see movies in the before the pandemic, was something I'll never forget. And for it to be Spider-Man 2, man, that was such a good movie. This is by far my favorite Spider-Man movie within the franchise. I don't know if it beats Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think anything can beat Into the Spider-Verse, but as far as it goes as Spider-Man films, this is easily my favorite of all, across all of the franchises, across all the Spider-Man trilogies we've gotten. This is by far my favorite movie, and I'm just so grateful I got to see it on the big screen, man. The film really picks up right where the last film left us, so there's not much breathing room. They don't really like try to catch you up on anything. They just go with it, which I really enjoy, because like you could really feel the stakes. You could really feel that Tom Holland / Peter Parker was in trouble, and like their identity was revealed and all that. So to see the ramifications of the last movie really play out at the beginning of this movie really made me go all in, because especially I rewatched the first two movies from this trilogy. I rewatched all of them, like that was my homework, so I rewatched all of them the past couple of weeks, but I rewatched specifically the last two movies in the MCU trilogy just so I could be more refreshed going into this. And this really does feel like it picked like a part two essentially to the last film, so definitely make sure you rewatch that before you go into this one. But man, and I keep saying that, like, I had a smile on my face the entire time, except some of the more heartfelt, emotional times, which, a side note, I really didn't expect this film to be as emotional and as gut-wrenching as it was. But for it to be the end of this trilogy, hopefully we get another one, but for this to be the end of this trilogy, man, it really just, it felt like it tied a nice little bow on top of a care package that was slowly but surely coming together. But this film right here knocked it out of the park, man. Like Spider-Man, I feel like this is what the epitome of what a Spider-Man film should be, because without going into too many spoilers, like this story itself felt more contained than what we've seen with other heroes in their like type of stories. I don't know how to explain it. Like on the grand scale of things, like the effects of what could have happened with this story definitely felt like, you know, multiversal, I should say. But when it comes to Peter Parker's like storyline from start to finish, it really did feel like a Spider-Man story. It felt like self-contained, like we didn't need to call the Avengers in and all that. Like this is really his story with his rogue villains. And speaking of villains, just seeing some of these classic villains that we got to see across all of these movie trilogies, across all the Spider-Man films, that it was just so cool, man. I feel like one of the biggest things from this was the nostalgia factor of it, and of course they knew that this was going to be like some nostalgia heavy moments within this film, but they didn't rely too heavily on that. Like the story still felt like it could stand alone without some of the nostalgia pieces, whether that be the villains or anything else like that. But like the nostalgia part of it was done so right, and it felt like it was a love letter to the other films, especially in the last couple acts. Like I can't say much, but man, I was just sitting there like we're really in like peak Spider-Man movie form right now. I just couldn't. I was so blown away with that. And like I said, this is going to be me a little bit rambling because this is my first reaction, first time talking about it, and I will keep it short. But this was one of the most ambitious films I think the MCU has done, especially just introducing the multiverse. So like they went hard, and with the inclusion of Doctor Strange and magic, like they really went hard without throwing too much at you. And I thought it really just captured the spirit of what Spider-Man was supposed to be. And especially, I was really impressed with just speaking of the cast, like the villains I'll talk about in a second, but just the trinity that we started out the franchise with Ned and MJ and Tom and Peter, like them three growing together across these three films. Like this is the most that screen time they've shared together across all the films, I want to say combined. Like they really got their screen time and got to share the chemistry that they've been growing across these films. So to see them really grow and really evolve into these roles and sending off this trilogy with them three together, like killing it, was just, it was beautiful. Like I feel like they've really come into their own with these roles, and to see especially MJ and Ned not necessarily like get side benched or get sidelined or forgot about, because we have all these villains, we have all these incredible things happening. So to see them actually be involved in the mix throughout the main central story, I was pleasantly surprised and really happy to see. So that's another note. But Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, back again, incredible. She does an amazing job as usual. I'm happy. Jon Favreau back is happy. The comedic timing he brings back to the movie, can't beat it. So but yeah, the villains themselves, like William Dafoe, Alfred, like Jamie Foxx, those central three absolutely kill it, and they steal the show right when they're introduced, from when they're introduced all the way up until the end of the movie. They are just killing it, and it doesn't, like, not necessarily feel like it's not a, Tom Holland still gets he is a Peter Parker. He still gets the main screen time. The story still revolves around him. But man, do the villains come in and just say like, hey, these are why we're the villains. These are why we're iconic, because you don't forget us. And they absolutely kill it. Man, did they send us on an emotional roller coaster with this Spider-Man film. And it is a thrill ride. It is an ambitious film. It knocked out of the park. I was grinning from ear to ear the whole time. I was just like, man, and we it was a really solid crowd in there. We had a jam-packed crowd in there watching the film with us. So when all those big moments did come up and just hearing the crowd roar, I was just like, we're here, boy. We're really here. And I honestly cannot wait to see the future of this franchise, because like this trilogy, not only did it send it off on a high note within the MCU, but it felt like it felt like it sent it off on a high note, but also opened the doors for more possibilities for the future without it feeling like too set up-y in a way. Like it did set up some things, but at the same time it felt like it wrapped a nice bow on this first trilogy that we got with Spider-Man. And I cannot wait to see the future of Spider-Man in the franchise, because I'm gonna be honest, I feel like as we're getting closer to the end of 2021 and moving forward with comic books and stuff, I was like, can this still be sustainable, like for the near future? Like, can we still get that amazing goal hype that we were reaching for, striding for when the MCU was first introduced? So with Spider-Man in particular, I feel like there's no stopping this train, and the ball's in their court. And I just feel like we can get more Spider-Man movies, more like movies with all the Spider-Man across the universes and all that. So we will see. But that being said, that's my review, my reaction. Maybe I'll come back after the movie actually drops and we can talk spoilers and stuff, because I feel like I can't even talk about half the stuff in there without spoiling something. So with that being said, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the movie when you see it. But yeah, make sure to go check out our review when we drop it on the site. And we probably will come back with some spoiler talk, because this movie is too big not to talk about spoilers. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace up, A-Town down, and I'll see you soon for